If you have a trademark and you can't enforce it, you really don't have a trademark. I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and in this video I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw-up. This time around, it's the Mongols getting hit with $500,000 fine, but being able to keep their trademark and not relinquish it to the government. Alright, let me start by reading from the article, and you can find the link in the description below. Judge fines Mongols Motorcycle Club $500,000, but group retains trademark. Attorney for Mongols Motorcycle Club called the decision on the trademark a victory and said the government was trying to limit speech. Okay, so a federal judge on Friday fined the Mongols Motorcycle Club $500,000 following its conviction in a racketeering case, but declined to strip the group of its trademark-protected logos, said a spokesman for U.S. Attorney's Office of the Central District of California. U.S. District Court Judge David R. Carter in February had said he would not strip the Mongols of its trademark logo, citing constitutional protections against intrusions on free speech and excessive fines. A jury convicted the Mongol nation in December of racketeering in a case in which prosecutors said the group also operated an organized criminal enterprise involved in murder, attempted murder, and drug distribution. The jury decided that the Mongols could be stripped of its logo, which Carter in February declined to approve. Stephen Stubbs, lead attorney for the Mongols, called the judge's decision to not strip its trademark logo a victory, but said that the $500,000 fine would be a major burden for the group. He said the group plans to appeal the entire case. And by the way, when you got a judgment, half of which you like and half of it you don't, appealing has a risk of the whole thing being relooked at. So they want to lower the amount, but if it's looked at the appeal, then there is a risk that the appeals court would also look at whether the trademark issue was resolved properly. Just saying. The Mongols Motorcycle Club is very pleased that Judge Carter shut down another attempt by the government to limit symbolic speech, Stubbs of Las Vegas said in a phone interview Friday evening. He said that while the Mongols respect Carter and his decision, their organization does not agree it's fair in any way, as the current members had nothing to do with any of the alleged behavior are going to be the ones to bear the burden of paying the fine. Federal prosecutors have been trying for more than a decade to get at the Mongols' trademark logo, which they say forms the core of the identity of what they have called the motorcycle gang. Now, if you remember, during Obama, they really went after trademarks of different entities. They went after Washington Redskins. They had this crazy story around it, and they forced USPTO to look into whether Redskins were to retain their logo that they've held for decades. They tried to strip this motorcycle club of its trademark. So there's a pattern there. There's an interesting pattern. So let's keep going. After Carter said in February he would not strip the Mongols of its trademarked logo, prosecutors tried again, asking that the group be prohibited from preventing others from using it, which Stubbs says the judge also denied. And here's what he said, I love it. He says, if you have a trademark and you can't enforce it, you really don't have a trademark, Stubbs said, saying that had the judge granted the request, others who are not in the club could sell patches and wear them, and there would be nothing the Mongols could do about it, right? The whole purpose of a trademark is to give you a legal tool to stop everyone else from using your trademark. That's what intellectual property is all about. It's not about you asking permission from the government to use your brand. It's about you being able to go and shut it down everyone else who's trying to use your mark without your authorization. It's about giving you the monopoly over the use of that brand. So when you can't enforce that, really, what do you have? So very, very well said by the lawyer here. And then at trial, Assistant U.S. Attorney Christopher Brunwyn told jurors about the killing of a Hells Angels leader in San Francisco, a Nevada brawl in 2002 that left members of both clubs dead, and the death of a Pomona policeman who was killed as he broke down the door of a Mongols member to serve a search warrant in 2014. Yeah, okay, they may be not the best of people. They may not be kind and, law-abiding citizens, but what does it matter in terms of the club owning the trademark on the logo? Nothing. So Stubbs disputed the characterization that the Mongols are a motorcycle gang, saying this is not a motorcycle gang. In fact, that's offensive to people in the motorcycle culture. He said everyone involved in the alleged illegal activity upon which the case was based were excommunicated from the club a decade ago before the group was aware of an undercover investigation. What he's trying to say here is that we may have had some rogue members. They did some bad stuff. You caught them. We kicked them out. Leave the club alone. So, whichever it is, again, has nothing to do with a trademark. Now, agents with the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives infiltrated the Mongols and won racketeering convictions of 77 members in 2008, AP has reported. Prosecutors have said in court documents that the Mongols are a nationwide organization, but approximately 400 of its 500 to 600 members are believed to be located in Southern California. Stubbs said that if the Mongols must pay the $500 fine, the Mongols would find a way to pay it. He said Carter approved monthly payments of $8,475 for 5 years. This will be a heavy burden, but the Mongols Motorcycle Club is not going anywhere, Stubbs said. So it's like this case was crazy from the very beginning, and the attempts for the government to grab that trademark were idiotic from the very beginning. Here's why. Now, a trademark is intangible property, right? It's a right to stop others from using the brand based on your own use of it. So what were the government trying to do? If they just had the court force the USPTO to cancel that trademark, right? If all they did was just cancel that trademark, then what would have happened? Somebody else could have gone in, filed their trademark application for the exact same thing, and they would own it. And it could have even been the same company. Well, let's say the court canceled it and made an injunction against the club that the club could no longer file for the same trademark. Okay, well then a member could do that as an individual, and they would own the same thing, and that would have not changed anything in terms of protecting the public from the motorcycle gang or motorcycle club, however you look at it. The second way to do it would have been for the government to force the transfer of that registration to the government itself. But, well, guess what? The government is not in the business of running motorcycle clubs. And so, since they're not intending to use that trademark for the goods and services that are listed in the Statement of Goods and Services, well, then guess what? Anybody can cancel that trademark for non-use. And when that trademark is canceled for non-use, then anybody else could go ahead and file their own trademark and have it successfully registered. So none of that would accomplish anything, right? And there's just no legal tools to allow the government to tell USPTO that this mark could not be registered for anybody, because the mark itself is not offensive. The mark itself does not do anything bad. So and especially since a design, it's not even a name. So like I said, the whole attempt of stripping the club from its logo was idiotic. It failed. Good news. And as for the fine, we'll see where that discussion goes. So I hope you found this video interesting, and if you did and you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and get notified whenever the next one goes live. And if you treasure your own trademark, your own brand, so that you would fight to keep it, make sure that you take the first step and protect it. And what is required of you is just to go to trademarkfactory.com, book a free call with our strategy advisors. They'll ask you all the necessary questions. You'll be able to get started. We'll do the search. We'll check if your trademark is viable. If it is, great. We'll go ahead and file it and make sure that it goes all the way to registration so that you have something that you can enforce. And if we feel that your trademark is not registrable because of what we find during the free trademark search, you can get a full refund and just pretend that conversation never happened. So if you feel the value of what I just suggested, and like I said, if you have a brand, do that, book that call, and we'll take it from there. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.